become, excuse me, a very good tool for our patrol, because we know now where best to be instead of taking a sort of a long shot at where theft may occur. Lately we've been concentrating in Spa Park. I'm not allowed to show you the graph that the police have drawn for our efforts in Spa Park, but if you could imagine a ladder leaning up against that wall, and the top of the ladder was last January, if you went down to the bottom rung, this is where we are now with break-ins of cars. So we've been really effective. We take the car now down to the hot pools. We open there, we have a key, the council key for the gate. We drive through, go down to the hot pools, and we'll drive backwards and forwards for half a day, so that they don't know just when and where we're going to be. And if I could just ask one thing here, the first bit of track through that gate and down through that little gully needs a bit of work, like half a truck of gravel would be, because it's a bit harsh.
I can see Mr. Williams scribbling.
He's scribbling, is he? We don't need a sealed surface.
Take part of the airport runway.
Nothing too expensive.
We won't be sealing it. We won't.
So we have found that the hot pools has been a hit area. And the word stupid came up in Roger's presentation, and as they say in Intel and police stations, stupidity is not a crime. And it's a shame that it wasn't, because we have people who go into Spa Park and other tourist areas leaving doors open of their vehicles, leaving windows down, and leaving their valuables for everybody to see. And I think I could say from the patrol's point of view, they deserve what they get. We have tourists come to this country and they think we're a quiet, placid little place. We're not. There's just as many thieves in this part of the world, I think, as any other part of the world. If you're going to leave your valuables open in a car, as we see, because we have a little leaflet that we'll leave underneath the windscreen wiper, and we'll tick the naughty things that people do, so that when they come back to their car, they can pick this up and say, oh, I left my wallet on the front seat of the car, or I left my laptop, or whatever it may be they leave. And it's great to see the community get together to recompense these people with the things that they had lost. Sometimes I think it would be better if they never got recompense for it. It's a lesson, and they'll probably pass that on. I know our motel people have leaflets advising their guests about theft, but when they come into town in a motorhome and these little vans with a mattress in the back, they don't know what's going on, and they tend to just leave their vehicles open, and then that costs the police a lot of time. We fitted a phone into the car. Now, we call it a special phone, and for us it is. It's called a ballistic. It's a phone that's used in long-haul trucks throughout New Zealand. And we have programmed into that phone numbers such as the police, the TDC, Northcoms, and emergency numbers. And we can call those numbers at any time of the night, or it doesn't matter where we are, because there are some flat spots around Taupo for communication. So it's only a matter of scrolling the number and pressing the green button, and we can talk to TDC. 1 o'clock in the morning, we have seen something has happened as far as the council property is concerned, and that message goes in, and we will be sending at least one message a week into TDC of what we see when we patrol. Our main areas for patrolling is Spa Park and other tourist spots. Car parks, including the motels. It takes approximately, leaving the police station to do all the motels down around the waterfront, right out to 2 Mile Bay and back again. It takes us about an hour and a half to go through all those, and we'll drive through all the backs of those motels. to check them out. And as I said before, we do the pack and save, warehouse, farmers, AC bars, library and the industrial areas. Now the interesting thing is the library, and I don't know how many people here, how many councillors realise what's happening in the library, but the government has put free Wi-Fi computers for visitors to use. Now what they do, they come into the, most of these people are people that typically would visit Spa Park. It's a wet day, they will go into the library and they'll sit and they will use this equipment and they'll leave their bags lying around and they expect the library staff to look after them. Our locals now are getting to find out that, hey, this is a place where we can flog a bag. And there has been up to a theft a week occurring there. So the library staff and the police have asked us to go and patrol. So we're trying to finish, and it's from 3 o'clock in the afternoon on that we finish our patrol in the library. Quite a nice, pleasant place to finish the patrol, actually. So I think that I've covered most of the things that happen with the patrol here in Taupo. So you've got 50 very dedicated people out there who are trying to, or helping the police keep the place safe. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Ashley. Thank you very much for your presentation. I'll just see if any of my fellow councillors would like to ask any questions at all. Councillor Williams?
Yes, thank you. Thank you again for your presentation. The remark on stupidity, I just hear that so many times coming from particularly Spa Park and also the Hooker Falls area and Craters of the Moon. Is there anything you can suggest that we can do to really alert people not to leave their valuables? Because as you said, there are people out there who are desperate, and it must be a massive temptation for them to...
There have been some things happen. If you look at the Crater of the Moons, they took the forestry away from around the car park. Virtually since that happened, there has been no break-ins in a car. Now that has been roughly 2 years ago now that happened. If we go to Hooker Falls, break-ins there have greatly reduced because what they've done there, they park the motorhomes on the other side of the car park now. So those who are working in the kiosk can sight the motorhomes, and there's not so much cover because there has been instruments found hanging in the trees on the other side of the car park to jimmy a door open. And there's enough cover. If every third tree, and they're only little spindly things, if every third tree was chopped out in there, it wouldn't look silly, but it would make it open and you would be able to see anybody hiding in that tree. But I think that's a dock issue. Very hard one to tackle, that one. Spa Park Hot Pools, there's been a lot of cover has been removed from that area. There's been signage put up, and we, when we're out on patrol, try and educate people when we're walking around. You know, is this your bag here? Yes, it is. Would you mind putting it beside where you're sitting? Because someone will pinch that bag. And they'll look at you as much as say you're daft, but we're not daft because we know it happens. So I give them cover and expect it to happen. Take the cover away. That's the main thing. You can put signage in, but people don't read signs. Not unless it really hits them in the face. But we have found a place to park a car outside the Spa Park car park in a place beside where the people walk down. Now, our front of our car, you wouldn't know it was a patrol car until you see the side of it. So it comes as a bit of a surprise, especially when a bunch of youths get out of the car and they got a couple of dozen of beer in their arms like this in the cart, and then they're going down to Hot Falls. Now, we can't stop them from doing that because it's quite legal for them to do that. But they did ask us a question, can we do this? And we said, well, we can't stop you. But we gave them a lecture on how to look after the bottles and did check up next day, and they had put everything in the rubbish bin correctly, not like a lot of people do.
Well, Mr. Weir and... Oh, I'm sorry, Councillor Craig.
I was just going to say just one quick thing. Have you ever considered what they've done up north, where there was quite a lot of crime in similar areas to our hotspots? They acquired convicted sort of thieves to be the security. It sounds stupid, but it actually worked up there, that they've actually cut crime down by appointing... It was like being in a school and the person that you asked to look after the luggage was one of the worst guys in the school. So have you ever thought of that, or is it too
The
outrageous?
problem is, to be a patrol member, you've got to be clean with the police.
Well, yeah, that destroys the idea. But it worked up in.
I know, but
Waipiro.
I know where you come from. There's nothing like a thief to know a thief.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, well, Mr. Everest and Mr. Weir, thank you very, very much, and please pass on my fellow councillors' thanks and gratitude to all 50 members that you have there. You're doing a fantastic job in the community. It's really sad for me that 5 years ago the terrible thing that happened to Karen Aim really sort of spurred this into top gear, shall I say. It was always sort of cruising along, but community patrols now with the cameras and everything they've got are really in top gear and doing a top-notch job. So on behalf of my councillors, please pass that on to all your 50 members that, what's that saying, I think volunteers aren't paid because they're worthless, it's because they're priceless. So thank you very much. There is a motion here just before you go, a resolution, my apologies, that the information be received and Mr. Ware and Mr. Everest and their team be thanked for their presentation. Can I have a mover, please? Move Councillor Williams, seconded. Councillor Heckling, all in favour?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much.